Good afternoon, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Ask James. It is Wednesday, it is 1 p.m., and I'm ready to get started. I'm not ready to waste a bunch of time. You know we have to get through this. Some people are on their lunches and things of that nature. I don't want to hold you up too long, but we're going to get it all in. We're going to get it all in and figure out what's going on here with some of these letters. Now, before we get started, I want to do some thank yous to some folks that actually dropped some super chats during the premiere of last week's show, and that is Trendish Tees, Kevin Johnson, and Sly Sylvia Williams. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know you didn't have to do it, but you did, and I'm glad you did, and I thank you. Mwah. Thank you guys. Now, this is Ask James. So let's get started. First letter is actually titled, He's Gay and I'm Straight. Okay, cool, no problem. Let's go. My best friend and I met almost 4 years ago in the most crazy way. We bonded very tightly in such a short time. I'm sure you know how best friend relationships are. We're on the phone for hours, Skyping, sleeping on the phone at night. We would even text each other while on the phone with each other. Y'all had it bad, honey. Okay, it wasn't long after we became friends that our vibes started to shift, and you could tell there was more than friendship holding us together. I ended up telling him that I was in love with him, but he shut me down with such vengeance. I cried to sleep. However, he called me the next day crying and said he was in love with me too. It may seem like a big deal to some people, but he was always telling me he knew he was gay since he was a child, and all of a sudden he's in love with me, and I'm a girl. We met when I was 18 and he was 25. It's a long time later, and we never moved on our feelings physically and have remained friends. But if I bring up the subject of love, he'll act like he can't remember all the times he said he loved me or that he wanted me to have his children. It will always be the next day that he will say all that was true. He's just not ready yet. He always finishes the sentences with yet. We will argue over the smallest things. Our arguments can get bad, and I feel like he will start an argument just so he won't have to deal with me. But he's always begging me back in his life one day later. He has an anger about him, as if he's angry at me because he's in love with me. There's been times he really hurt my feelings because he said he either didn't want to love me, didn't love me, or never will. I've dealt with hearing about other guys and dates, and I've felt some type of way, of course, but I never stopped being a friend. And at the end of the day, I knew he loved me. And this is the funny part. This is this long email. And I could stop here. I could really stop here. But I won't, because of the fact that you took the time to actually send everything in here. You wanted me to know all of this. But again, y'all write me books, and the book ain't even necessary a lot of times. We can stop this shit right here. But we're going to go on and finish reading because you felt the need to write it. But, Anyway, let's go. We live in 2 different states, and his mom, whom I've only talked on the phone to, told him she's the one. A cousin told him the same thing and went on to say, will she lock you down with that punani, or that tucci, or that box? She wrote the word, child. It's a wrap for you. Mind you, everyone knows he's gay. I talked to his mom one day and she said ever since he met you, he became a whole new person. He actually told her that he liked me more than a friend, and the first time he came for a visit, and her response was that she already knew. This recent time he came to see me, his whole demeanor changed. He would complain that too many guys were looking at me. We were taking an Uber to the movies, and I guess I was talking too much to the driver when he grabbed my thigh and squeezed it really hard while leaning over whispering something. I guess it was a whisper. I couldn't really tell. He had a fire in his eyes, and it had me shooketh. So I didn't hear a word he said. I just shut my fat ass up in my Monique voice. We're going to keep on going with this damn book. This unnecessary book. Okay. After dinner, walking out of the restaurant, a guy walking by kept looking at me, as I was told later. I looked back at him just to see which one of us he was looking at. Old boy grabbed my arm, put his finger in my face and said, "You about to get your ass beat." He had that same fire in his eyes. Girl, you tripping. You tripping. You tripping. Not saying all that to say I'm scared he's abusive. If anything, he's scared of me. But it's just this aggressive passion came from nowhere to someone who doesn't care about me in that way. He has a health issue and told me if he didn't have these health problems, we would be sleeping together and probably married by now. Would y'all? Have you ever been through this? No. How do I deal with the back and forth? It's gotten to a point where I'm hurt because I'm starting to feel disrespected when he lashes out at me. To be told if I never came into his life, he would just be fine makes me feel as if I forced him to love me. I'm crying now because I knew telling him I loved him would cause this much pain. I would have never said anything. Okay, like I said, this was a long, unnecessary book. First 2 paragraphs, girl, stop playing. Some of this, I can't let you slide on because some of what he's saying is true. You did force yourself. You force-fed yourself to him, knowing that he wasn't actually available to you. You knew. Like you knew. And I don't know why people get themselves into... I've never gone through this because I've never allowed anyone... And there's been times when girls have actually been... females have been attracted to me, and I just shut it down because I know myself that is not my lane. And I don't give a shit what you say, what you do, or how you move. I am gay, period. And so is he. Not only is he gay, he's self-centered, he's not a very nice person, he's taken advantage of you over all this time. He is completely taken advantage of you, but at the same time, you have made yourself available for it, and it really is a bunch of bullshit. It's really a bunch of bullshit. He's full of bullshit. His mama's full of bullshit. His sister and his cousins is full of bullshit. And they think you're a joke. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you. They think you're a joke. And I'm sure they probably laugh too. They probably laugh. Because for these people to be sitting around and know that they have their family member that is completely gay and telling you, you're the one, but you ain't got no penis. They're making a damn fool out of you. They're making a fool out of you. You're holding on to some false hope of this gay man falling in love with you, sweetie. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And he may want to love you in that way, but he don't. He doesn't even treat you like someone that you love. I'm sorry. I am really, really sorry that you even had to go through this, because it really is a bunch of bull. It really is. It's a mess. And then he is abusive. And all this squeezing of the thigh, what makes you think that that's not violent? That was violent. Anytime you knowingly inflict pain upon me, you're being violent. And I darn sure ain't having no gay man squeezing and inflicting pain on me like some straight fool. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. You need to let that alone. You need to let it alone. And he got a whole lot of other issues. He got health issues. He got mental issues. He got family issues. Child, listen. You are sabotaging yourself and sitting around playing with this. You're actually missing out on the straight man that's out there floating around that you're supposed to be bumping into, playing around with this fool. He don't even make a good Judy, you know, for lack of better words. He's not very friendly. I just don't. You're wasting your time. You're completely wasting your time. Completely wasting your time pondering over this and crying over this. Those are wasted tears. Those are wasted tears. You care much more for him than he does for you. This relationship is completely tumultuous and it is completely one-sided. One-sided. Because from what you're saying, yeah, I feel bad that you sit around wasting tears, because I promise you he's not. He ain't dropping not one tear that has anything to do with you at all. And I definitely, like I said, I am not trying to be mean. I love that you trust me enough to even send this in. But no, baby, I've never gone through anything like this, because I will never put myself in a position like this where I'm in this really, really strenuous, one-sided situation. Get away from him. That's my advice to you. Get away from him. You don't even need this as a friendship. You really don't. It's not conducive to anything. And that family, I am appalled with that family. You need to get away from these people and never look back. Never look back. That's my advice. And I know it's pretty harsh. And you know I'm not that harsh when it comes to matters of the heart generally. You need to get away from these people. All of them. The fool's mammy, all his cousins and all his aunts and whoever else, his sisters or whoever else. Them people are a joke. And they're taking you for a joke. Get away from them people. And I'm done with this. They done made me mad. This is the beginning of the daggone program, and these folks that made me mad up in here, honey. I can't. Anyway, I'm done with this letter. Thank you so much for writing in, baby. I hope I wasn't too hard on you, but everything that I said, I meant. Every word. Get away from these people. People are full of shit. Moving on. Okay, let's go on to our next letter. It has no title, but it goes a little like this. It says, James, I need advice, bad. I've been with my man almost 8 years. Lately, all we do is fight. Not physical, just verbal. He will ask me a question, I answer. Yet, because it's not the answer he wants, he keeps asking. I get no help with housework. I put clean clothes away nicely. They get thrown all over the place. He covers every table with junk to the point we can't even put a cup down. He smokes, knowing that I have asthma. He says he's going to the bathroom to smoke, but he doesn't. It's nothing but arguments. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Was he always a slob? Or did he just become a slob within the last 8 years? Is this a situation where he had these not so clean ways, and now all of a sudden it's starting to get on your nerves because it's not changing? That's my question to you. Because you have to remember, how you start is how you finish. If you have a man that is prone to clutter and not cleaning up behind himself, doesn't usually change unless it's something that you've made him aware that you don't like it, and he's aware of it and admits that he does these things and is willing to change. But if you've always cleaned up behind him, he's always made a mess, and you just run behind him and clean it up, then are you being fair to just one day all of a sudden it's getting on your nerves and you expect him to change? Is that fair? How you start is how you finish. Now, not to say that it can't, if it's really getting on your nerves, you need to talk to him. You need to talk to him, sit him down, not this passing trains in the night, arguing and carrying on. Sit him down, say, listen, you are a slob. This is what you do. This is what you've been doing. Do you realize that you actually do this? Now, do you realize that it is getting on my nerves? We need to work this out. It's becoming a problem. We're arguing over it. It's a problem. That's the only way to really go about it at this point, is to actually talk. 8 years in, but I need to know, was he always like this? Was he always like this? And then this whole little thing of the whole smoking thing, that's very inconsiderate. But again, it rolls back to, did it just start? Or was it always? Was he always consistently, self-centered in this way of knowing that you have asthma? I mean, that's like, are you serious? You have asthma and you're smoking and carrying on. Like, what is that about? So this is one of these things I need to ask you. Are you looking at you? Have you changed? Because you do know that there's a thing called outgrowing. You outgrow sometimes mates. Sometimes you outgrow friends. And you didn't say it was your husband. You said this was your man. Is it possible that you've outgrown him? And that little thing about you asking him specific questions and then he ain't, you'll answer and then he's playing games. He seemed a little petty. Like he's just a little petty, a little self-centered a little bit, and it just seems, I don't know. I'm getting a vibe that maybe you have outgrown him, and I think you need to give him, 8 years is a long time. So I definitely think you need to give him a fair chance to try to catch up. I definitely think you need to because you wouldn't be there 8 years if you didn't love him. So I'm feeling like you need to sit down and have a real live conversation, and not saying get physical, but kind of yoke him up in his collar and let him know, look, this is what's going on. And if it is that you have outgrown him, you need to give him a fair chance to catch up. And if he doesn't, you're going to have to move on. You're going to have to move on. Because this little stuff, this is like stuff that could actually occur daily. Y'all be arguing, and these things could occur daily. That's not going to be good in no household. That's a mess. But that's the vibe I got. I got the vibe that you've outgrown him, and I definitely would say give him a chance to catch up. If he doesn't choose to catch up, then you need to go on and go where it is that you're going, and whatever your journey is, and not be dragging dead weight around and cleaning up behind the dead weight. Having asthma attacks because you want to be self-centered and ain't giving a darn about my feelings or my well-being. That's just not, that whole thing with the asthma and the smoking, that's just really kind of, it has a whole screw you vibe, to it. I don't like that too much. But that's probably because my mother's an asthmatic. So I'm like, really? So I mean, I know how, the trials or the tribulations that an asthmatic actually can have from something like that. That can actually be serious. So Yeah, you need to have a conversation, a real live conversation, not an argument in passing, an actual sit down conversation and figure out what's what we get ready to do, or what ain't we getting ready to do. That's my advice. All right, baby, thank you so much for writing in. I will talk with you later. Okay, this letter actually, it doesn't have a title. And it reads like this. It's a long one, you guys. Here we go with another book, y'all. Okay, here we go. Hey, James, it's me again. A repeat book writer, honey. I just got into a disagreement over the actions of my older cousin. We were dropping my younger cousin off at her apartment. They are both sisters, 15 years apart. My younger cousin had 4 bags of groceries that were hers. The boyfriend of my younger cousin's roommate was also outside walking the dog. They both began to go up the steps together. My cousin with the 4 bags of groceries and him with the dog. He wasn't holding the dog. They make it all the way up to the 3rd floor for the 3rd floor apartment and go inside. I'm in the car with my older cousin, and she says she's going to let him know he should have helped her sister. Before I know it, she's up the steps and I can hear them shouting. The parked car. I park the car and go up the stairs to defuse the situation. When I get up the stairs, my older cousin is in this dude's face yelling and shouting. I step between them and try to get her out of the apartment. When I finally get her downstairs, I tell her that was completely unnecessary and that she was overreacting. Yes, I agree that he should have helped my younger cousin, but fact is he didn't. I think her actions made the situation worse because now I feel like she caused a commotion and then left. I also feel like she put me in a tough spot because I do not know this man. I would have had to potentially fight because I would have to protect my cousin if he hit her. I nor she needs to be in jail. It is rumored that the boyfriend abuses and pimps out his girlfriend, which is the cousin's roommate. Although he is not abusing my younger cousin. I have tried to help my younger cousin out of this situation. I have also learned the hard way that you can only intervene in domestic and violent situations when the victim is ready. You help them escape Friday and they're back on Monday. I guess I am just feeling disappointed in my older cousin. This is the second time in less than 2 months she's acted out in this way. Right now, I just want to cut her off because I do not like when she can't control herself and creates unnecessary drama. And I only like to windmill in these streets when I absolutely have to. However, these are children of the aunt I told you passed away. So I think that is what may be causing her to act out. Did I act correctly in this situation, and how do I move forward? How would you handle this situation? Thank you so much, James. I appreciate everything that you do. You know what? You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. And guess what? I wouldn't be hanging with your goddamn cousin either. Because your cousin is a ticking time bomb. Now, I don't know why she's this ticking time bomb. I don't know why she's basically inserting herself in other people's stuff. This right here is completely out of order. She needed to mind her damn business, and y'all needed to drive off and go on where y'all going. First of all, it's not even your little cousin's man. Like, are you kidding me? It would be different if it was her sister's man that didn't help her sister carry the bags. It's her sister's roommate's man that didn't help her sister carry the bags. He don't owe that sister nothing. He don't owe her or her sister nothing. He ain't got no nothing. There's no attachment that he has to that situation. You didn't say that he lives there. They ain't his groceries. Now, a decent dude would have helped carry the bags. A decent dude would have carried the bags, period. That's what a decent dude would do, but we've already pointed out that he's not decent. If he abuses and he pimps, then we already know he's not decent. When have you ever done a pimp that carries bags? Not at all. Not at all. And, child, there's nothing about what your cousin's doing that she was just out of order altogether. She was all up in somebody else's business. She'd have mind her damn business for somebody to knock her on her ass, and that would have been really ugly. I mean, and then to be approaching a guy that you've already heard is abusive to his woman. What do he care about you? He don't care nothing about you. Y'all were really lucky to get out of that without it really being an issue. And you were completely correct when you said she started a trouble, she started a commotion, and then she left. You got all this shit started, and then you left your sister there to deal with it. Because 9 times out of 10, from what you've written in the letter, your cousin that lives there is now going to have to deal with him and his girlfriend. Both of them. So yeah, you started a whole mess, and then you went home. Yeah, I wouldn't be hanging with that cousin either. She's trouble. She's trouble, and again, she's a female, you're a male. It's not going to be trouble for you. And she running up, jumping in men's faces. You know everybody not raised like that. You know there's some people that will, listen. I hope it don't happen, but there's some folks that'll leave your cousin's little ass getting gravel and ruggling off her back, jumping in their face. So, and that guy sound like that type of person, you know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't want to be hanging with her either. If this is what she gives, ain't nobody got time for that. As an adult, y'all are not kids. Y'all are not kids. Stuff like this ends up in shooting, court time, and people being locked up unnecessarily. And just keep in mind, it's usually the innocent party that usually gets all balled up. You wouldn't win no matter what. If you beat his ass and he put you in jail, you didn't win. If he beat your ass and beat her ass, then you didn't win. You ain't gonna win no matter what. Yeah, you need to fall back from hanging with your cousin. If this is what she do, and you're saying, like in a couple of months, she did this on more than one occasion, ain't even her situations. Girl, if she don't get somewhere and sit her goddamn ass down, she just sit down. She needs to sit down. No, baby, you didn't do nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, and you shouldn't feel bad at all. And I would explain it to her. I would definitely explain it to her. This is what you're doing. This is the position you were putting us in. And if you're going to keep doing this, I can't rock with you. Because I'm not going to lose my job potentially and lose the things that I have by having to do jail time when I'm supposed to be at work. And if she can't understand that, then y'all just can't hang. She's your cousin. It's sad. Oh well. Is she worth going to jail over? Is she worth getting a body over? Is she worth becoming a body over? I'm just saying. All right, I'm done with this one. Let's move on. Okay, here we go. Next letter, and this one actually, it doesn't have a title to it, but it does start off like this. It says, "Hey, Uncle James. Hey, what's going down?" All right, it says, "Although I am younger, I have been a subscriber for the past 3 years. I really enjoy you and your channel. So thankful to have your presence in this world." How sweet. That is so nice. Thank you so much, babe. Okay, here's my question. I'm 27. Will be 28 next month. And I have never been in a romantic relationship. I've only been on one date my entire life. I don't have any kids and my parents are deceased. I don't even have a goldfish. People say when you're single, you should spend that time working on yourself and learning about yourself. I'm tired of learning about myself. Laugh out loud. I know me very well. Seriously, I know I need work. Everyone does. There are plenty of broken people in relationships and marriages. Not comparing, just saying. I have a career that I love, a couple friendships, a couple hobbies, but my life feels lonely. My couple friends tell me I'm so great, but if I'm so great, why can't any guys see it? I know there are more things in life than having a boyfriend or a spouse, but I feel like I want to experience it even if it's just once. I am shy, introverted, awkward, nerdy fat girl, and not just chunky. And then you had the nerve to spell it chunky instead of chunky. Chunky. You know what. But fat and wide, laugh out loud. I have low self-esteem and insecurities, but deep down, I do love who I am. I accept how I look, but I know most men don't. At least not the ones I'm attracted to. I know you have said many times you are single by choice. You seem very fulfilled, but you also have children, a mother, a bustling YouTube channel, do drag, sew, cook, etc. I just want to be fulfilled and less lonely. I also feel too old to never have experienced a romantic relationship. It's embarrassing. I've even tried the online thing, not for me. I believe in God's timing, but do you have any advice for me on fulfillment? How do I get there? Should I be embarrassed about this? Is this all silly? Thanks so much. I would be grateful for any advice. And I have some. I have a couple of things that I'm going to get in your ass about, actually. Okay? Couple of things. So just hold on to the bottom of your seat because we get ready to go for a ride. Now listen, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this first off. Because you have this vision of me, and it is what it is. Yes, I am a very busy person. I'm a very busy person. I do a lot of stuff, and I find it fulfilling. I do. But everybody doesn't. You know, and it's not like I have it so made. I know me. I've been here, not almost. You're just about double the time of you. And I know me. And these things fulfill me. There is nothing wrong with being a person. See, there are people who actually really need to be with a spouse. They are actually made to be with another person. And there are people that are made to be on their own. You know what I mean? And sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. I do well being on my own. I'm okay with having a spouse, but I do well being on my own. No, that doesn't work for everybody. So you can have everything, because everything that I have here that I do, you can go do it all. You can go and do your version of everything that I have going on. You can go adopt children, just like I did. Now the only thing, your parents have passed away, and I'm sorry about that. But other than that, everything else you had listed there, you can have every last one of those things. And still, at the end of the day, be tired and still be lonely. Because see, that's where the problem is. Lonely. You are a person that actually longs to be a part of a union. You long for that. You want to be with another person. I've been with another person. I think I do better on my own. And I don't get lonely. See what I mean? So you can't really compare yourself to what my situation is. Your situation, it's something you long for. But again, you won't really know if it's really, really for you until after you do it. And it will happen. It will happen. I'm just saying, don't get desperate. Because when you get desperate, you start making bad decisions. You'll try to date, you'll go date anybody. And I don't want you to do that, because that will literally turn you against the whole thing. You know, you get the wrong person, baby, you have a whole issue. But before I get to that stuff, let me get to the fact that you said in here, you said, I'm shy. Okay. I'm introverted. Okay. I'm awkward. You can change that. I'm a nerdy fat girl. You can change that. I'm chunky. I'm not chunky. You said you're not chunky. You're fat and white. You can change that. You can change that. This whole thing with the self-esteem and insecurities, and it's fine that you admitted that. You admitted that you have it. So if you're admitting to me that you have insecurities and there's these things that you don't really care for about yourself, you have self-esteem issues, you can change that. That's actually on you. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. There are things that are out there that can help you along with that. Weight, you can help that. You can help that. So if you're heavy, and I don't even like these use of these words that you use, fat and chunky and, in such a derogatory way. If you feel a way about being that, you need to be working on that. That's going to take up some time, because you need to be working on that right away. You need to be working on that before you get into a relationship and damage the relationship with that going on. And then you're talking about with the people, the people that you are attracted to. So am I taking it that you're attracted to this very pretty pinup boy looking individual, and you think that you've never seen one of those guys with a heavy girl? Where you been? All people that hang out in the gym all the time aren't always looking for other people that are in the gym. There is somebody for everybody. There's somebody for everybody. There's a guy that don't want a girl that is ready to go on Vogue, sitting around somewhere looking for you. He's looking for you. But in the meantime, you got to know that you're worthy. That you're worthy. Because you're really like putting this other type of person onto a pedestal. Now, from what you're saying, you're never going to look like that. That's not you. That's not your body makeup. But you can definitely change your body to be something that you are more comfortable with. Just a slight change. A slight change could make you feel better about yourself. And if it's weight, go lose 10 or 20 pounds. You'd be surprised how a small portion of weight being lost will make you feel completely different about yourself. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And again, these are all things that you could actually control. You can control weight. You can control self-esteem and insecurities. Those are things you work. Can't nobody fix those for you. You work on them yourself. You work on them yourself. And then you said to me, you said, deep down, I do love who I am. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. It's like a whole contradiction. It sounds to me, and I'm not saying that you hate yourself, but what you gave me, it says to me that you've accepted yourself for how you are. I'll go for that. But to tell me that you love yourself for who you are? No, sis, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And what I want for you, I want for you to be able to actually write it down and mean it, and I believe it when you tell me, okay, yes, I love myself. I love just how I am. And if that requires you to go and lose 10 pounds, and I'm telling you, trust me, it could be something as small as 10 pounds, and it gotta be for you. It gotta be for you. Set realistic goals. Something realistic. Rather it be one clothing size. It could be one clothing size. That'll turn that whole thing around. But that's where I think a big part of the issue is I totally believe that you've accepted who you are. Do you love who you are? I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So I'm going to say, work on you first. Because I don't want you to get this relationship that you've been looking for and then mess around and screw it up. Because, you know, insecurities and self-esteem will screw up your relationship. And I'm going to tell you what would actually happen, especially from what I'm looking at, what you're saying about the mate that you want. You want this pretty boy. And then you got these little self-esteem issues and these insecurities. So every time what society says is a bad bitch roll by, you gonna be all up in your feelings? You gonna be feeling some type of way? Do you know how damaging that is on a relationship? You're gonna be questioning him, because you don't feel worthy of him. Because I'm telling you, getting one of them, that ain't all that hard to do. It really ain't. Because there are literally, I'm telling you, there are literally guys who are all muscular or are tall and slender who really they like a fluffy girl. They like a fluffy girl. There are men that love a fluffy woman. They don't want another slender individual in their bed. They want a fluffy girl in the bed. I promise you, there's a guy waiting. He's running around out there and he is looking for you. I know you've heard that. I know you've heard that, because I truly do believe that God does. He makes us in pairs. He makes us in pairs. There's somebody that you could be paired up that is for you, that especially for you. And it's the person that you want. It's the person you want. They're out there. They're somewhere. It's just when you run into them. And at some point, you do run into that person. But you got to be ready. You got to be ready. And being ready is having yourself straight. You got to have yourself straight. You can't be carrying that. That's a lot of baggage in that little second paragraph. That's a whole lot of baggage. That was a lot in there. I'm like, How you expect me to love you down, and you questioning yourself? Just kind of question it, or you just accepted who you are. I need you to love you like I'm gonna love you. That's just the way it is. And I believe even with me, I'm single, bad relationship, did all that. It's like, But I definitely, I'm open. I'm open, but because I believe that there is actually somebody that is out there that is paired up exactly for me. They're actually perfect. They'll be a perfect fit to my puzzle. And if I run into them, I'll let them in. You know, I'm not closed off. I'll let them in, but I ain't looking for them. Now, right now, you looking. So I'm going to need you to straighten up your mess so that when you run into what it is that you are looking for, you're ready. You're ready. And that you don't screw it up. Get me? And you're young. You're very young. And as far as being embarrassed for what? For what? Because other than that, you got it going on. You got it going on. You got everything else all lined up in your life. So, embarrassed for what? You know how many people are in relationships that suck? Relationships that they think that they wanted? And you know, when people be going out looking, I always say, don't go out looking for a mate. Because when you go looking for a mate, you'll find a mate. It ain't the one for you, but you'll find them. Find some of the worst trash in the world and be stuck with it, honey. And it's not silly. It's not silly. There's nothing wrong with loneliness. Loneliness is an emotion. It's just not one that I battle with. I don't battle with that. I do real well alone. That's just my thing. It's just something, you know, I just work that way. But most people don't. It's different. Most people don't. Most people do like to do things with other people. They enjoy like going to the movies. And there's times when I you know, I go to movies and stuff by myself. I go out to eat by myself. I do all of that stuff on my own. But that's just my thing. There are times I would be lying to you if I say I don't want, you know, a guy to make over me. Everybody loves that. You know what I mean? There's times when I have my moments when I want to be made over. And I want somebody to tell me, ooh, you know, all that. And be all up in my face. I have my moments. But I don't fall into no pits of loneliness. You know, that's not, you know. And I just ain't gonna settle. I'm not gonna settle. There are folks who actually would like to take me out that I know I ain't got no business going out with and ain't going no damn where with them. You know what I mean? So, But no, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nothing at all. You alright. You okay. You're young. You're young. But I'm going back to where we were. I want you to get that together. I want you to get that together. I don't want you to accept what you're shaped like. Accept these bad feelings that you have about yourself. No way. Not when it ain't necessary. Not when it ain't something that you can't change. You ain't told me I got a third eye. Oh, I got a, you know, You ain't said nothing that is not reversible. Everything you talked about is reversible. And I'm telling you, trust me when I tell you, just a small change. A small change. It might be one clothing size. Make you feel completely different about your daily, you know, just when you look in the mirror and you'll see, girl, listen, you can look and just the width across here may change a little and it changed the whole way you feel about everything. I'm telling you. And there are things that are out there. You're on YouTube. You're watching me. I'm going to give you permission. I'm going to give you permission to drop one of my videos and look up a video on self-esteem. Go and this is somebody that you may want to, Lisa Nichols. Go listen to Lisa Nichols. Take one of my videos and drop it and go and listen to Lisa Nichols. And it's Nichols. Lisa Nichols, she does motivational speaking and it's on everything. She covers life and she covers a lot of self-esteem and different things like that. Her story, awesome, completely awesome. Just do that for me. Just go and listen to a couple Lisa Nichols videos. Please write me back and tell me what you feel, whether you like it or you don't like it. If you don't like her, write me back, and then we can handle this behind the scenes. And if you don't like her, I know some other folks. And we'll find you something that will help to build with the self-esteem and the insecurities. Listen, get with me. Drop one James Colwell video, pick up one Lisa Nichols video, write me back and let me know what you thought. Do that for me. And then we'll work. If you're willing to work with this, I'm willing to work with it with you. That's all I can do. I'm willing to help every way that I can. All right? So I'm going to let this go right here. And I'm going to be looking for your email, sis. Okay? All right, baby. Now, I love you. And I just want you to love you the way that you told me that you love you. Okay? All right? Now, I'm going to put the ball in your court. What you getting ready to do? All right. Okay, guys. One last email here. This one is actually being, it has a title that says Child Being Abused. Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay. It says, I am writing you because I need your advice. I saw a video on the channel Vice. The name of the video is Inside America's For-Profit Bail System, dated January 21st, 2016. A man named Dominic Torrance was being interviewed sitting on a couch was an adult black male with a little girl sitting up under him. He had his arm wrapped around her like she was his girlfriend. She looked about 10 or 11. She had this scared, wide-eyed look in her eyes. She was also wringing her hands nervously. The entire time, he never looked up from his phone, which I thought was strange. It's not like he has a camera crew in his living room every day. My sister has been a foster parent since 1988. She agrees with my conclusion. This little girl is being raped. My question is, should I contact Baltimore Child Services? I live in Massachusetts. Do you think it will do any good? I can't stop thinking about her. I was raped as a child myself. Maybe that's why I am losing sleep over this. Okay. Wow. This is touchy. This is touchy. I'm going to say the fact that you're losing sleep over this has bothered you in such a way that I'm going to tell you that you should move on this. You should definitely move on this and check into it. And again, it's actually it's an older video that you've actually watched. You should check and see if you can find any more information. See if you can find any more information. But I'm gonna need you to watch your verbiage. Your verbiage, because you're accusing this man of rape. You're accusing this man of rape. And that is a very, very serious allegation. I don't know about those words, though. Those words, I mean, because the fact of her nervousness, that would bother me. Her wide-eyed look would bother me. But the rape allegation bothers me because it could be something, but it may not be that. And a rape allegation is very, very serious. You don't want to throw a rape allegation onto somebody who is not, even if there's some other type of abuse going on and it's not rape, you don't want to throw rape on somebody if that's not what's going on. So that's very serious. You need to watch that verbiage. But I would definitely say, yes, go looking, do some more checking, see what else you could actually find. And I don't have a problem with the whole contacting Baltimore Child Services at all and have them to take a look at the video. Make them aware of the video because there are professionals in place that would, if there's, you got a bad feeling, when they look, maybe they'll get a bad feeling and they'll start to move on. But I'm just saying that verbiage, I want you to hold on that verbiage. Hold on the verbiage. You can definitely let them know that you are a childhood rape victim and tell them that is why it actually moved you in such a way. But I wouldn't jump onto the phone and blurt right out, she's being raped. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because you really don't, you want to be taken seriously, okay? You want to be taken seriously and you want to be sure when you get to throwing that around, you want to be sure. So by all means, make your phone calls. By all means, do that. And like I said, they have professionals that will definitely look into it. They'll look into it. If there's video footage and all, they'll look into it. They'll look into it. They may not be aware of it. and they'll look into it. But yeah, the allegation situation, you want to kind of, because you don't know him, you don't know her, you want to be taken serious. And that's the only thing. I just don't want them to brush you off or feel like you're sounding like a fanatic. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be brushed off because you're throwing out an allegation so forcefully. So just watch your verbiage, but by all means, yes, go ahead and make your phone calls. That is the advice that I actually have for this. Oof, this is kind of, yeah, make your phone call. Definitely make your phone call. Make your phone call, but watch your verbiage. That's what I'm going to say. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for writing in, babe. Thank you for writing in. Thank you for even thinking enough of me to even ask. Thank you. All righty. Okay, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. The first letter today and the last letter today. There's a whole lot. Y'all trying to take me some places today. That's Anyway, kind of rough. But that's okay, because that's why we do this. That is why we do this. Like I said, thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate it. I'll be right back here with you guys again next Wednesday, 1 p.m., same place. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you have a letter that you would like to mail me, you can actually write and mail me at James Colwell. It is P.O. Box 99432. That is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15233 is the zip code. You can also email me and put "Hey James" in the subject line. My email address is spillitboy@gmail.com. And we will definitely take a look and we'll take a stab at whatever it is. We'll take a stab at it. Last thing before we actually get out of here today, I definitely want to tell you about the What's Going On giveaway that I am actually doing. It is going on right now. All entries will actually stop tomorrow at midnight. So Thursday at midnight will be the last time for the entries. And I'm going to leave the link to the video with all of the rules and everything that you need to know about the actual giveaway in the information slot in the bottom here on this video. And definitely, it's fun. It's fun, and I'm giving away some stuff. I haven't said what it is that I'm giving away. I mean, I know what it is. Everybody knows that I give away good stuff. So, at any rate, join in to the What's Going On giveaway. The link is down in the information section. Like I said, you have until tomorrow at midnight to get your entry in. The winner will be announced on Saturday during Swipe Left, this Saturday coming. So, with that, I love you guys. I'll see you back here for another Ask James at 1 p.m. next Wednesday. And I'm out of here. I am out of here. Later, you guys.